Last time on my SoD Journey, I started fresh on Blood Summons and made my way to level 25, conquering Black Fathom Depths. In this video, join me as I venture to level 40, in the hopes of venturing into Gnomeregan. We start back up in Stormwind and get ready for a really weird Stockades run. I've joined this group and I notice that the Paladin Simplified is actually level 60, so it looks like this is a free run that maybe the leader has organised, I don't know. But obviously he doesn't realise that the Paladin is 60, because he kicks the newest member after saying he doesn't know how to heal on Mage. Alright, weird start. I zone in and they've just started, and at this point the leader still hasn't noticed that the other paladin is level 60. He's actually ripping threat from the level 60, which is kinda funny. Do damage. I'm AFK. Carry free. This is weird, but I'll take the easy XP, I guess. We let him gather mobs fully and wait till they're completely gathered to start DPSing. But still, we are actually pulling threat from the level 60. I don't know how that happens really, but it ends up in a wipe. Now, I've only ever been in one other carry run before, and that was years ago in another Stockades. So, I don't know if this is the norm, but it's free, so I don't complain. Also, the level 60 doesn't have res. Alright. Regardless, it's a bit of a messy run, but we get through it, and unfortunately, I'm missing one mob for the quest. I try to go in solo, but I end up dying, and I just can't be bothered really. Level 28 now though, and I decide to join a Shadowfang Keep group. While I won't give too much XP at this level, I have a Warlock quest in there, and there's also a special Season of Discovery boss that can drop an epic pair of pants. So, I'm here for loot. We begin the very long trek from Menethil Harbour to Arathi and South Shore. The group actually meets up at South Shore so we can summon the party and actually venture together. I'm not a huge fan of the sheer amount of running in Classic, but it definitely has its moments. We begin the dungeon, and if you go up this path here before the butcher boss, you'll actually run into the special boss. Sever here can drop one of these two items. This time it drops the epic axe, so congrats to a paladin. I wanted to show this little jump skip I learned from Cataclysm dungeons, which lets you skip a fair chunk of mobs, but my party doesn't follow, so we clear anyway. Up to second last boss, and he drops some massive cloth shoulders, which the priest and I both need, but unfortunately we don't win. But it's all good, because the last boss Aragol drops the robes, and the priest passes on them since they got the shoulders. Very kind, did not have to do that. The druid and I end up sticking together after the run to find another group. I would really like another item or two from this place. It just unfortunately gives very little XP at this point. Though unfortunately the boss Sever drops the axe again, which nobody even needs on. But maybe the last two bosses can drop some good stuff. Nope. And nope. Oh well. We still got a level and a very good robe. My next adventure is actually into the Duskwood incursion. I find a group with another warlock and a rogue, and together we're able to get through it quite quickly. I know incursions aren't the most exciting thing, but they're quick and give a lot of XP and gold, which is what I'm looking for in order to get to level 60 and do the current raid Scarlet Enclave before it's over. The dailies end up getting me from level 29 to 31. After that, I immediately begin forming another group for a Black Fathom Depths run, in the hopes to get some really good loot and a little bit of XP. While forming the group, I decide to have some fun and whip out the random roleplay with these people at Menethil Harbour. Greetings, fellow adventurers. The weather is quite wicked this eve. It's not cold, the dry lands. Doth speak the truth. Hopefully our transport arrives soon, lest we catch an illness from the brain. Ah, our boat! I'd say praise the light, but something to keep the chill away. Needed that. It's like spying on us. Oh fuck. We have shed sail. Now to wait days for the long distance. Ah, the other side of the world. Jump. Do it. I shan't. Who knows what creatures lurk down there. Holy shit, is that John Warlock? Fuck. Our destination. Good luck, adventurers. With that RP to pass the time, we finally form the raid, with a level 60 to help this time too. I actually decide to try and tank for around half this raid, just to see how it is, and honestly, it's pretty cool. Not sure if it's what I'll do properly at endgame, but it's good fun. Otherwise, on to loot. Baron Aquinas? nothing. Gamera, same deal. Saravis, nada. Gellyhast drops a nice offhand, but we don't win it. Lorgus Jet, nothing for us. Kelrus drops nothing, but I do find this random pair of shadow damage boots. So that's something. Finish up at Akumai, but unfortunately again, nothing for us. After all that, I finally hand in my Warlock quest to receive the offhand to go with my dagger from my first Black Fathom Depths run. Following all that, I decided to do at least a little bit of questing at South Shore, killing an extreme amount of Murlocs and Naga. And after doing a bit of that, I go back to Duskwood for more dailies, which I have almost out-leveled at this point. I try to find a group for a while, but am unable. Though thankfully at this point I can actually solo even the elite mobs, so I have that option. Though after the clearing the Ogre part, I do find a couple people, so I reclear that, and we quickly finish up the rest of the incursion, getting us to nearly level 35. Being in Duskwood, I decide the next best place to go is Stranglethorn Vale, eliminating forces of Curzon and beginning the large amount of hunting for Hemet and Nessingwary. I have to say, I like Stranglethorn Vale as a questing area, but it's so much better as Horde, purely because you have that second flight point at Gromgol. It saves so much time running up and down this huge zone. If I make another character, it'll probably be Horde just for this reason. After some questing in the jungle, I do start the quest line to get my Fell Hunter pet, which I don't complete for a while. Spoiler alert. The first part is to collect a book in Hillsbrad. Pretty easy, just past some Murlocs. The other part needs me to go all the way to Thousand Needles in a cave by Centaur. Not hard, just a very long run. While in Dustwallow Marsh, I attempt to take a shortcut through the zone rather than following the road. It does not work out. But finally, arriving in Thousand Needles, I find the cave, and an undead warlock and I help each other to clear out to the book. While in Thousand Needles, I also pick up this Feralus Flight Point and Gadget Zan, two that we'll definitely need later. Coming back from Gadget Zan, I begin questing in the Shimmering Flats. Something I actually usually look forward to while questing in Classic. It's very easy to put something on the other monitor and do a circle around the zone for a large chunk of XP. Back to Stranglethorn Vale for more troll culling and beast slaying to impress Hemet, as well as eliminating Colonel Curzon at level 39. Our last elite beast to kill before Bangalash is Tethys, and in handing that quest in, I have finally achieved level 40. Which means that as a Warlock, we can simply travel to Ratchet and learn the spell, Summon Felsteed. It also means that I can now enter the leveling raid, Gnomragan. First boss is Grubbus. You deal with two waves of adds coming out of the tunnels and then the boss. These green clouds will appear and you're meant to bring the adds into those clouds as well as interrupting the basilisk so the tank isn't stunned. We get him down and good plate gear drops, but nothing for us. Next is Viscous Fallout, which we actually wipe on as we didn't quite have the burst damage to take down the goo before they turn into big adds, which have really nasty casts. But we get it down second try. I help by changing runes for more burst damage. He drops the epic dagger for our soul rogue and some cloth braces, which we don't win. I've got a lot of casters in the group, unfortunately. Third boss is the Crowd Pummeler, whose main mechanic is to do a huge knockback in front of them. A priest nearly goes flying but is saved by the walls, but the same can't be said about this paladin. Otherwise, this boss goes down, yet with no loot for blurred summons. After the big robot is a leper gnome piloting a big robot, Electrocutioner 6000. He zaps 3 people out far, who need to swap with 3 others to avoid getting one shot. Though we mess this up, with 5 people including myself going down before the fight finishes. But hey, at least 2 pieces of loot we can use drop, which of course we do not receive either of. Second to last are these robotic critters, and it all goes south from here, I'm sorry to say. I'm not 100% on the mechanics, but from what I know, casters hit the sheep except when it has the shield up. One tank drags the dragon around the room away from the others. The chicken drops an egg which needs to be DPS down quickly, and the squirrel needs to be interrupted. But we unfortunately just can't manage it. Our tanks keep dying, and to be honest, I don't really know why. We try again, but still can't do it. Our group loses a couple, but we manage to replace, even with a level 56 paladin. Though he ends up pulling before a priest can respec to healing, and we wipe due to lack of heals. And that was that. Group fell apart right after that, and at this point it was 2 in the morning for me, so I really couldn't press on. But you know what? That's okay. Gnomragan isn't going anywhere, I can always do it again. Progress has been made, and that's what matters. We still made journeys and had fun. and I look forward to our next adventure. Blurred Summons and his Felsteed, whom I've dubbed the Admiral, will venture onto level 50 and beyond.